A widely used contraceptive, Depo-Provera, and its newer version, Cyanopress, is at the center of lawsuits, health warnings, and allegations of population control. Marketed as affordable and convenient, especially across Africa, the injectable contraceptive has been repeatedly linked to alarming side effects. Studies published in respected journals have connected medroxyprogesterone acetate, the active ingredient, to a significantly higher risk of meningioma, brain tumors that can cause seizures, strokes, and cognitive decline.
You know, Bill Gates is a controversial individual. And if you understand why I said that, then what's understood needs no explanation. About a month ago, Bill Gates was trending on social media, especially across African platforms. And we all know that when this man goes viral, it's usually not for the right reasons. According to multiple outlets, the Gates Foundation is rolling out a new contraceptive in Kenya, Nigeria, and India. This device is being promoted as the first of its kind, lasting up to 8 years inside the body. Now, at first glance, this might sound like innovation, but the question we really need to ask is this: is this progress, or is this control disguised as healthcare? Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? I'm Patrick, and welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Daily Monologue. Here is what is being reported. According to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation website, this hormonal IUD is described as long-acting and reversible. Once inserted, it releases synthetic hormones that prevent pregnancy by thickening cervical mucus and, in many cases, blocking ovulation altogether. But that's not all. The foundation also plans to expand another product, a self-injectable contraceptive, to more than 35 countries, including at least 8 African nations. Let's watch this short video clip, and I'll be back right after.
A widely used contraceptive, Depo-Provera, and its newer version, Cyanopress, is at the center of lawsuits, health warnings, and allegations of population control. Marketed as affordable and convenient, especially across Africa, the injectable contraceptive has been repeatedly linked to alarming side effects. Studies published in respected journals have connected medroxyprogesterone acetate, the active ingredient, to a significantly higher risk of meningioma, brain tumors that can cause seizures, strokes, and cognitive decline. Pfizer, the manufacturer, insists the contraceptive is safe, but its data sheets now include warnings about tumors with long-term use. Cyanopress, a self-injection version, is not sold in the US but is givily promoted in Africa. Advocates like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation frame it as empowerment for women. Critics, however, call it a tool of a hidden population control agenda targeting African women. Beyond tumors, Depo-Provera carries the FDA's strictest black box warning. Risks include irreversible bone mineral density loss, blood clots, breast cancer, and even increased vulnerability to HIV/AIDS. Studies funded by Gates and the National Institute of Health have actually warned of an increased HIV risk, yet the World Health Organization downplayed the findings, labeling them inconclusive. History adds fuel to the fire. From Ghana to Atlanta, Depo-Provera has left a trail of unethical experiments involving thousands of black women who were reportedly used as test subjects without informed consent. Multiple lawsuits allege that Pfizer concealed harm, just as it has done with other medications in Africa before. Critics accuse powerful funders like the Gates Foundation, USAID, and the WHO of pushing dangerous contraceptives in low-income countries, taking advantage of weak regulation and lax oversight in those jurisdictions. According to critics, The vigorous promotion of contraceptives like Depo-Provera in Africa is not about providing choice to African women, but is primarily about control. With lawsuits mounting, and calls for accountability growing louder in the wake of Depo-Provera's trail of destruction, the situation raises an important question: has this ever been about empowering African women, or is it another chapter in the long and sordid history of medical exploitation of African people?
Now, on paper, this looks like philanthropy. But if you've been paying attention, you already know when it comes to certain so-called global health initiatives, things are never as simple as they seem. And let's not forget, history is full of examples where melanated population have been used as test subjects. From colonial medical trials to the Tuskegee experiment, all the way to more recent controversies around vaccines and so-called humanitarian aid. The pattern is consistent. Programs are often introduced as quote-unquote help, but when you peel back layers, you find another motive, and it's population control. So I'll ask again, why is Africa always the testing ground? Why are black and brown bodies always the front line of these experiments? You see, what we are dealing with here is bigger than Bill Gates as an individual. He's just the face of a much larger network, one that has long been accused of shaping global policies in ways that don't benefit the people they claim to serve. We see the same players appear again and again. International NGOs, UN agencies, and Western foundations. Together they push programs that focus less on empowerment and more on limiting futures. The promotion of GMO seeds, experimental medicine, mass sterilization disguised as choice. Different fronts of the same agenda, connected pieces of a single puzzle. And unfortunately, we have some African leaders, our so-called leaders, playing along, accepting payouts and partnerships that eventually undermine their own people. And so let me be crystal clear. This is not just about one contraceptive device. This is about a consistent pattern of outside powers deciding what happens to African population without transparency, without accountability, or without true consent of the people. And we cannot afford to keep looking the other way. We have to protect our next generation by questioning every quote-unquote philanthropic program that comes knocking at the door. Because history has taught us one truth. Whenever they say, "We are here to help you," we should always be asking, help who and at what cost? And as long as Bill Gates and his associates continue plotting against the melanated population, interfering in African affairs and influencing our leaders, I will never stop speaking out and raising awareness among melanated people across the globe, right here on this channel. You know, this is a sensitive topic, and there is much more that I would love to say. But unfortunately, I can't go too far because of YouTube's community guidelines. So I'll leave it with you. Do you think this is really about healthcare, or is this just another step in a long-running strategy of control? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video with your community, and let's keep this conversation alive. Because if we don't, other people will write the story for us. Thank you for stopping by. Give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm out.